So this next video is actually insane. This next video is actually insane. Like, Preach quitting World of Warcraft is never something that I thought would happen. And just even thinking about it, like, I haven't watched the video, but just even thinking about it, I can't even imagine what is going through Preach's head. Because World of Warcraft has been such a big part of Preach's life for all this time that I just... It's gotta be so insane. Like, and here's the interesting thing. Like, I could have been one of these World of Warcraft only creators, because at one point in my life, like I told you, I played nothing but World of Warcraft. I wanted to do nothing but talk about World of Warcraft. And then I burned out, I think, during Cataclysm. That's when I took my big first break of World of Warcraft. But there was a point in my life where all I wanted to do was play World of Warcraft and nothing else. And I could see myself being in this situation, right? Being in this situation where I've been supporting this product and creating content around this product for so long, that is such a core part of my identity, that the decision to stop playing it Jesus Christ.
After so many years, the road has come to an end. Time to give up on World of Warcraft. Many of you may have seen floating around Twitter or on Reddit or on live streams, whatever it might be, is that we are stopping our coverage of World of Warcraft as of right now. This has not been an easy decision, as you can imagine. We have a team of people who work here now, putting stuff together for you guys to hopefully put a smile on your faces. That is all we aim to do. And in terms of WoW, we have to kind of stop right there. So I'm going to clarify a few things. Not everything is going away. I'll explain why shortly. Let's do the reasons first. Get that out of the way. So first reason, obviously, is the recent allegations. That was really the straw that broke the camel's back. It is the tipping point. To find out, after all we've been through with World of Warcraft since probably the beginning of BFA, that on top of that, this environment has existed within Blizzard to the point now where they're staging a walkout. I've just been checking and updating myself on this, is that the staff are doing a walkout due to Blizzard's awful, reprehensible response to an abhorrent situation that has been plaguing Blizzard for a very long time in terms of its harassment of women. And then at that point, I no longer feel comfortable promoting and advertising the game, which is essentially what happens. That is the relationship I hold with Blizzard, with having a large audience, is that we produce content, we check out content that's in development, we get to see things a little bit earlier in order to get that out to you guys as a promotional tool. That's how Blizzard sees it, and in return, we get to make fun content about a game we absolutely adore.
At the end of the day, it is important for people to understand that, you know, companies label, you know, people like me, even though obviously I'm much smaller than Preach, but people that have a reasonable audience, we get labeled as influencers. Whether we like it or not, we influence. I hate that label. I really do, which is why whenever I make a video where I'm either reviewing a game or just giving you my thoughts on a game, I always like to say, you know, I like to phrase things in a way that allows you to reach your own conclusions. I like to give you guys the tools to make your own decisions so that I have the least amount of influence possible. Now, sometimes I'm passionate about a product and I'll talk about it and I'll be like, hey man, I love this game. Like, you know, you guys know how it is. Monster Hunter, I love it. I adore it. I'll always play it, whatever. There have been times where I would have said that about World of Warcraft, like during the Wrath of the Lich King, which I wasn't like a big content creator back then, but if I was, and you were to ask me, Rurikhan, how do you feel about the recent patch in Wrath of the Lich King? I'd be like, motherfucker, I'm on cloud 9. I love this shit, right? I'd be like, dude, I love it. Love everything about it. It's amazing. I love it, right? That was the way that it was back in Wrath of the Lich King, and if you were to ask me, you know, that's what I would say. Although, I think even back then I was just like, man, fuck Dark Knights, not Dark Knights, Death Knights. Fuck Death Knights, dude. They're overpowered as fuck, and my warrior is weak as fuck. Fuck Paladins too. Well, I was doing those kinds of videos like from my car and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we influence, and that is one of the reasons why I don't want to play Diablo 2. Right? I've told you guys I'm not going to play Diablo 2, and that is the reason. Because whether directly or indirectly, the simple fact that I would stream Diablo 2 would influence some of you guys to buy it. In a way to go and buy it. That's what these streams will end up doing. Like, I've influenced a lot of people trying out Final Fantasy XIV. Influenced a lot of people in trying out Monster Hunter. It began with me influencing a lot of people to try out Dark Souls. Right? Because, you know, I think I was part of the initial wave of creators that showed people that Dark Souls is not this big impenetrable thing that everybody thinks that it is. And, you know, having that type of presence and level of influence also comes with it some level of responsibility, and to do right by these people that have been wronged by Blizzard. It's just a very small thing for me in a lot of ways. Like, fine, I won't play Diablo 2. It's still hard because I loved the Diablo 2 back when I played it, and not playing it is going to be somewhat hard for me, but I'm so privileged, dude, when it comes to that shit. You know? Like, I'm sitting here in a warehouse. I have a ton of space for myself. I have my computers. Nobody's coming in here and groping me, unless it's my wife, which is, I will obviously approve anytime that my wife wants to walk in here and grope me. That's fine, honey, okay? Just make sure to turn the camera off before you do that. People might not appreciate it. But, you know, I'm sitting here. Nobody's going to come in here and sexually assault me. And I can do whatever the fuck I want. Like, I'm sitting here streaming to you guys. We're all hanging out, chatting. And we can all do whatever the fuck we want. And I don't have to answer to nobody. It's whatever. So I'm super privileged with that stuff. And, you know, I hope that in some way me talking about this can create a better working environment for the people that are over there. Monster Hunter influenced me to try out Rurikhan. Hey, man, sounds like Monster Hunter gave you good advice. Certainly there are some people playing Longsword because Ruri hates it. Man, fuck Longsword.
I no longer feel comfortable doing that at all. That's reason number one. It's hard to get past that for me. It really is. It's too hard. It's too big of a hill to climb. Reason number two is, at this point, I honestly have very little positive to say about World of Warcraft. It does feel like for the last few years, Blizzard has really pushed to have players like myself leave. It does feel that way. We've talked about it a number of times. A great deal of the changes and directions that Blizzard have gone in, I've been very outspoken about. And BFA in particular, and this is relevant now, is one of the expansions where I essentially had to bitch and moan throughout the entire expansion because systems like Warfronts, which are unlosable content, islands that had no variety, Azerite armor, which was just a plague on the game since it came in, with refusal to allow us to even trade it at all. At one point, it didn't matter on item levels, you couldn't trade it whatsoever. You were locked into it because it was super special, or Blizzard believed it was super special. And that's the line that we draw, is that what Blizzard believes is not what I believe, for a long way. A further example of just how near enough every feature of the game that has come in since BFA has been either half developed, undercooked, a missed opportunity is how I would describe it most accurately. Certainly when it comes to Shadowlands, Torghast is a missed opportunity, the Covenants are a missed opportunity. There is so much that could have been done with each of those features that just hasn't been done. They've let us down far too often. Shadowlands launched with the idea that we were going to put all the systems into the game at the start so we can just tweak and modify them and make them more fun as the game goes on, instead of having to constantly reinvent the wheel. They let us down with that, and immediately in the first patch with the addition of the Shards of Domination. Take a moment to really emphasize this, because I think the Shards of Domination sockets and the armor really exemplifies just how distant my point of view is with World of Warcraft and Blizzard's vision of World of Warcraft. I have heard reports in the last week or so, directly from some contacts, that Blizzard is confused as to why the players are disgruntled with Shards of Domination, because in the eyes of some people at Blizzard, they're basically tier sets. Now let that sink in for a minute, because when I heard this first and then heard it multiple times from different people, I was honestly gobsmacked. This is before...
How can Blizzard at this point, how can they, and it's like, besides all of the stuff we've been talking about, sexual harassment, lawsuit, how can the World of Warcraft team they cannot conceive, they can't think about what the problem of Shards of Domination is? How can you not know? It's like you have to be some next level of fucking disconnected to not understand that the problem with Shards of Domination is how fucking RNG it is. The problem with your whole fucking game is how fucking RNG it is. Everything in that game is RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG. There's only so many random numbers you can generate. Jesus fuck, it's not rocket science. It's because people can't achieve any fucking goals, dude. How can you not understand? You're putting RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG on top. Nobody's ever gonna get there. Nobody. It's a fucking statistical anomaly. If there are actually players that are willing to put in like fucking 5,000 hours of their precious time that they have left on this fucking earth, which is already burning with fucking pandemics, and people are dying left, right, and center, you think anybody wants to spend fucking 5,000 hours to get one fucking shard in one fucking hole, which is like the fucking 1 in a millionth chance of getting the actual bonuses that you want? Jesus fuck! It's not rocket science. It's not that hard to figure out. Guess what? I've always said this, like, go see where my character was when I stopped playing Battle for Azeroth. It was in front of your stupid weekly chest, which gave me like one item out of a possibility of 500, which meant that I was never going to get the item, and not even the item, like an item that I actually needed or wanted. It's not fucking rocket science, Blizzard. You want to know why people love Monster Hunter so much? Let me tell you. Because if we want to get a fire sword, we go kill the big fire dragon who drops the fire thing for me to make a fucking fire sword. If I want to get a fire sword in your game, I have better luck going to a casino and playing fucking blackjack. And I don't even know how to play blackjack. And I'd have a better chance of winning there. That's the fucking statistics we're working with. That's the problem with your fucking game. How can you not understand it? Because all you can see, and I don't know if it's because you're getting groped by somebody or if it's because you have leadership on top of your asshole just constantly going, fucking give me those monthly active users and the fucking retention mechanics and that everything you can think about is in terms of how long is this system going to keep the players playing. Fucking hell, dude. It's so dumb. Josnan, thank you very much for being gross and get us 4 months. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. But it's like, that's the problem with your fucking game. That's the problem with your game. That's why people don't like Shards of Domination, because it's so fucking random. And on top of it being random as fuck, I can't even give it to a friend. So like, say for instance, I'm trying to work on the Shard of Blood, whatever, the red one. Let's say I'm trying to work on that. And there's a friend of mine that wants to work on the blue one. And he gets the red one, and I get the blue one, and we can't even trade it. So it's not enough that it's RNG on top of RNG. If somebody else is lucky, they can't even give it to me, and they don't even want it. Because you took away Master Looter. Because that extends how long people have to play your game. Because you can't even play your games as a fucking community. You can't even help each other out. Like if I get an upgrade that's like one item level higher, but every single stat is worse than the shit that I need for my character, I can't give it away to a friend in a raid. I can't. This is the problem with your game. Like, people want to love your game so hard despite the fact that the game's been shit for so long. People want to like it so much, but you make it literally impossible. That's the problem. Omega X, thank you very much. Being Grossi and Candescent for 16 months. Tip of the hat. Appreciate the support. Thank you. This is so dumb.
For the entire revelation. I hear things a lot that I don't talk about on the channel. But to hear that, like 2 weeks ago, something like that, I was really shocked that anybody at Blizzard would equate Shards of Domination with tier sets. How can you equate something that is not stylized specifically for your class? One of the most exciting things that people get about tier sets is seeing their new tier set. What's the new Rogue one? What's the new Paladin one? What's the new themed around my class that I love and enjoy? My main character, what is he going to get going into that new raid? A lot of them don't even care about the bonuses. They just want to see how cool they look. And is it got the Warlock themed going to be Plagued one? Is the Rogue one going to be stealthy in some way? How's it going to equate to daggers and all that kind of stuff? But Shards of Domination don't do that at all. In any way. The bonuses that come with tier sets are spec specific. No, they're not always enjoyable, but they usually offer some sort of gameplay variety to keep your class interesting throughout the entire expansion. It might be something as simple as Death Coils proc more often, so you get to throw a few extra ones in. Something that gives a little bit of flavor, a little bit of spice to your character. Gems that provide a percentage flat damage increase are about the least creative thing in the universe for a video game. They're not interesting at all. I can't even tell if they're working without using third-party add-ons. How they've been equated to tier sets is beyond me. Now we look at the further problems, and I'm glad I'm recording this in the evening. Because what we've also seen with Shards of Domination, and we saw this on the PTR, we told Blizzard about it, they're not balanced. The Unholy one is way more powerful than the Frost one and the Blood one. So everybody wants to get the Unholy one. We could test this within minutes. Minutes of acquiring them on the PTR. This is the quickest, easiest check in the world to figure this stuff out. Blizzard leaves it as it is. So when the game comes out and we point out all the problems with this, acquisition, not getting the ones you want, the randomness of it, and the fact that you decided to add like a 10% DPS increase for several classes, should they get lucky? No tier set in the game has ever been like, oh, you just do 10% more damage than everybody else in your team now because you managed to get your 2-set bonus. That's not how this works, but this is how Shards of Domination works. And not only that, they're really boring. A bit of leech, a bit of flat damage when I attack a mob for a few seconds. I can't tell if it's going on, it does nothing for my gameplay, they're really boring. So you made a massive damage increase, you made it really boring, and then after weeks of players scrabbling to get these things, being disgruntled with them, being frustrated with them, being relieved when they finally get them, being even angrier when they still didn't get them, farming Raid Finder, Normal, Heroic, etc. to try and get the armor to put these things in, because unlike tier sets, you made them twice as obnoxious to get because you needed the gems and the armor to put them in. Tonight, they've nerfed them into the ground.
Dude, you gotta be shitting me. That is so... It's like... I am so happy I'm not playing World of Warcraft right now. I mean, I wouldn't be after the whole situation with the lawsuit. Even if I was, I wouldn't be. But like, Jesus, fuck, dude. How can you fuck up so bad? Yeah, like what Shadowmancer said. Imagine reforging your legendary slot just to have the item nerfed to shit later. So not only They forced you to remake your legendaries that you've been grinding for God knows how long all over again into a different item. And I found this was so interesting to me. You guys know that there's actually people in the comment sections of my videos defending this practice? I kid you not. There have been people correcting me, telling me, duh, you're so dumb. Don't you know that it takes, it's the same amount of soul ash to craft a new legendary or to upgrade it? It's the same thing, dude. You're so dumb. I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess I am dumb, dude. Yeah, sure. I guess, the gold that you have to spend to get the base item or whatever. Yeah, it's me. I'm dumb. Not smart. Yeah. It's like, dude, yeah, just keep defending Blizzard. I think that's the right thing to do, dude. I think that, yeah, having players completely have to reforge the legendaries that they've worked for, I think that's perfectly reasonable. Having them spend God knows how much gold so that they have to go and buy WoW tokens in order to be able to craft their legendaries, yeah, I think that's reasonable. I think that's a great idea. And then, after you recraft your legendary so that you accommodate the new socket for the shards of domination, then you put the right shard of domination for which you farmed away God knows how many hours of your life, then they nerf it into the fucking dirt. That's how much they respect your time, so keep defending them. Good job.
It's embarrassing for you, Blizzard. And this is the reason that people are just angry and frustrated. You created an entirely frustrating, annoying system when you said you wouldn't. Then you made it really boring. Then you made it super powerful. And then after all was said and done, you then crushed it into the ground. Embarrassing. Because everybody told you about this stuff before the patch even came out. It shows a lack of effort. It shows a lack of quality control, a lack of regard for players' time. It just comes across to us as players as you don't give a shit. You don't care. You just make us jump through hoops, and then you move the hoops, and you make the hoops smaller, and then you tell us the hoops are pointless. They don't earn you anything anyway. And it happens time and time and time again. And it's always plagued by problems that players such as myself see within 2 to 3 minutes of checking the system out. Hey guys, this isn't going to work. It's got this problem, this problem, this problem, this problem. These are glaringly obvious problems. You don't need to be a specialist in game design or a master video games critic to spot these things. And here we are with you doing it again.
Because that's the Blizzard strategy, though. It is important to mention that this is, at this point, and I think that Asmongold talked about this, and Bellular talked about this, and I think even Preach himself talked about this, which is a lot of people regard as a conspiracy theory. I think it's just a fact. What is the fact? This is the Blizzard strategy. And we've talked about this even just earlier on stream today. What is the Blizzard strategy? We introduce a new expansion. Everybody's excited to play the new expansion, and everybody wants to get in on it, and everybody gets into the new expansion. I play Shadowlands. I fucking play Shadowlands, right? So we get into the new expansion. Oh man, the content's fresh. Let's go. It's fine. It's good. We level up. Even though the content wasn't great, I complained about it. I said the storytelling of this expansion is hot garbage. I've had a lot of people disagree with me. I don't know why. I don't know what their standards are, but it's like, okay, dude, it was garbage. The Covenant system was garbage. Like, there's a million things that were garbage, but sure, you play along. Everything's still fresh. You get up to that first raid. You do that first raid. It's still fresh. Still like, oh man, it's good. It's going to be fun. You do some mythic pluses. Oh yeah, this is good. And then the time comes when you hunker down and you're like, okay, now it's time to min-max my character. Now it's time to actually start trying to get geared to the best of my ability. And that's when you start really interacting with the systems of the game. Okay, got to get these things from my Covenant. Got to get these conduits. Oh, this conduit is random. Oh, this thing falls from, this place. In order for me to keep up with the things that I want to, in order to keep my character topped up, I need to make sure that I do 20 hours of chores every week, and I got to do this thing and that thing. And this system is incredibly random. Maybe I'll get an upgrade, maybe I won't. This kind of sucks. That's when things start bubbling up. Even though these problems were identified by people like Preach in the beta stages or in the alpha stages even of the game. So they identify this. Blizzard does nothing. They put the game out the way that it is. No quality of life features. Huge problem. Then every other patch, they come in and they're like, okay, guys, we're fixing this. We're fixing that. Boom, boom, boom. And they give you a couple of quality of life. And they're like, oh, they're fixing it. They're listening. This is great. And then another patch comes along and more quality of life comes on. And oh, they're fixing it. This is great. And then eventually by the final patch of each expansion, Blizzard will have fixed the things that people complained about all the way back in the alpha, right? The things that Preach and people like Preach, like Bellular, identified all the way back in the alpha. Blizzard fixes it in the last patch. Why? So that people are receptive to the next expansion. So they're like, oh man, this last patch was so good. Blizzard did a fantastic job. So this next expansion, they're clearly not going to fuck it up for us again, are they? Then what does Blizzard do? They repeat the cycle. And it's a churn of players, just like it's a churn of employees. It's the same thing. They're churning their player base like it was their own employees. They churn their employees with unrealistic goals of monthly active users, retention metrics, sexual harassment, and all of this other bullshit, right? They churn their employees, and then they churn their players using very similar tactics with retention metrics and God knows what else, to basically go and be like, oh my God, this is a shit experience, but it's getting slightly better. Oh, this patch is actually pretty decent. Oh man, this is the best patch ever. And then new expansion, repeat the cycle over and over and over. Why? Because it keeps the players coming back. This is something that they probably have psychologists on the team that will actually analyze the point of no return from some players. But I think even those psychologists can no longer predict what they're doing because, clearly with patch 9.1, they completely fucked it up. They weren't even able to introduce new quality of life features that would actually improve players' experiences. And, the result is the perfect storm of people just like abandoning the game in droves. Rurikhan, can you answer a question regarding videos like this? What is the point of making this kind of content, dramatizing and exposing your soul, and the result will be the same? Blizzard will not care. Because at the end of the day, I still do. And nostalgia is one hell of a drug. I can't answer that for you. I don't know. I just feel compelled to do it.
I'm lost for words with the direction that this game constantly goes in. I don't recognize it anymore. I don't. And I'm so sad because the idea is I should grow out of the game and go on to do other things and be tempted by the new biggest thing. But that's not what's happened. You've just run it into the frigging ground for players like me. And I say for players like me because I'm not speaking for everybody, but players like me are just endlessly frustrated and disgruntled with being treated like this. Because we enjoy your game and we constantly end up chasing the fucking feather at the end of the stick, round in a circle, and then you just tell us it was all for nothing anyway. And it's all because you didn't plan it out properly, you rushed it, you didn't take care and attention.
Or did they plan it out properly and it's just a part of their strategy?
I tell you now, if I was sat in that room and this thing was suggested, I would have said, no! Why are we doing this? Who is this benefiting? Why is this fun? Why the hell would anybody be excited by this? Why are you giving it a crazy damage bonus? Didn't we say we weren't going to add more systems? Isn't there room in the conduit system for something like this? Can't we focus on making legendaries more interesting? Can't we focus on making conduits and soulbinds more interesting? Because they're really boring. And you keep making us grind renown for it. So, all through BFA, I spent my time trying to get these changes implemented, which we kind of saw of Battle for Azeroth. At the very, very tail end of the expansion, they finally started to relent on these things. And probably with 9.3 or whatever, they'll relent on some of this. Perhaps they'll take conduit energy away.
Yeah,
But
that's their
I
strategy.
can't in good conscience even consider spending the next 6 months of my time, however long it takes for 9.2, to moan about this game, because it just comes across that you don't care anyway. When I see changes like this, it's like, well, you don't care, so why the fuck should I care? Right? If you can't tune legendaries before a patch comes out, or domination shards, or the soulbinds, which are all completely out of whack, why the fuck should I care? Why should I? And I don't anymore. It's run out of me. You've killed my passion for this. You've absolutely killed it. I was presented with two options, which is either I spend the next 6 months bitching and moaning, which is somebody who just wants to make videos that essentially not for free, because we're supported by you guys financially. And we hope you continue to do that. But my channel was demonetized, and the rally of support was entirely because we wanted to keep pushing, because we loved the game and we wanted to make these videos.
Why was Preach channel demonetized?
And nerd out with you about World of Warcraft endlessly.
Why was Preach channel demonetized? What the fuck? Really?
I want to do that because usually we're talking about great, fun stuff. Little fun builds we can do. Classes that are more interesting than they seem to be. All that kind of stuff. And I'm passionate and care about doing those things. And all of that has been taken away. All of it. And it's been done lazily. It's done haphazardly. And believe me, to the devs who may watch this, I appreciate how hard 9.1 has been. I've seen all your tweets that you had to do entirely from home. I truly, truly appreciate how hard you had to do it. But at the end of the day, I'm a customer. And when I'm served a half-cooked steak, I don't want to eat it still. I don't care. Like, it's not... I don't care is the wrong word. But I'm not overly... It's not my issue that it was hard to get the meat or the ovens broke or whatever it might be. And that's... I still don't want to eat it. I understand that you worked hard on it. I really do. And I wish it wasn't this way. But it is this way. It's absolutely this way. And so for that reason, we can't do it. So I hope that I can go endlessly, because it literally, there's nearly everything in Shadowlands is just is the same. It's a missed opportunity. It's half developed. It's the bare bones of what it could potentially be, and it's just sad to see so much lost potential going along with it. There's no end to the amount of subjects. I think the Shards of Domination one is a prime example. So what are you going to see from us then? Well, there's a few things I still want to do because I care about them, and I think they celebrate the player. And I think that's the important distinction that we made in our team meeting where we decided this, because obviously it's extremely scary times. Because, you know, losing a lot of your audience, which is no doubt there are people who only care about World of Warcraft stuff. Fine. If that's the only game you ever want to see videos on, okay. Drama time is going to stay because that's a celebration of the players and the silliness that goes on in being anonymous in video games. We even include other games in that already. So drama time is going to stay. There are two projects with World of Warcraft I would like to finish, which I also believe celebrate the player. One is the Legacy series, and the fact that I no longer... Because what I've been doing for months is I don't stream World of Warcraft. I stream 5 days a week, and we don't stream WoW because it's very boring to watch. So we do variety. So that meant that for the World of Warcraft stuff, I was then finishing the stream and playing 6 or 7 hours of World of Warcraft afterwards in order to create the YouTube content. I'm not going to do that now. So I can have that time back to focus on the Legacy series. And I really want to finish When the Classes Were the Best series. We started that last week, and you guys absolutely adored it, and it was fantastic. So I want to continue doing that. So I want to finish that series because I think it's super fun. And that entire series and the Legacy series is focused on the players' behavior with these specs and classes, and that's what I find really fun. And plus, I love making them. It's as simple as that. I love making them, and they're not relevant to what's going on in the current day World of Warcraft. It's nothing to do with them in any way. So some of you can say, well, you're not walking the fine line or whatever, but I don't care. That's what I want to make. On top of that, luckily, we've been producing or getting ready to launch a second channel. We always wanted this channel to be the World of Warcraft channel. Couldn't see a reason not to do that. Is to have the main channel, or what we call the main channel, is the World of Warcraft channel, because there was no reason not to do that. And so we were preparing to create a second channel with the team, and they've been working on that in a while. That'll obviously be coming over here. We're going to make some mistakes. That's the way it goes with launching new styles of content. We are going to make some mistakes. So hopefully you'll ride along with us for that. That's all I can ask for, really. Is I hope and pray you'll ride along with us and give us a chance. If you're interested in those things, we will look at other MMOs. We are going to look at all sorts of video games. And basically, I'm going to make what I'm passionate about, because all the passion is gone for me from World of Warcraft. Am I quitting the game? Probably very soon, actually. The only commitment I had was to my team. I put together a raid team to clear Sylvanas Heroic with old mythic raiders from varieties of guilds. Now, I will say I have done that. We did that this evening, just before I recorded this. Yet they want to do another kill next week for some guys who couldn't be there tonight, so I'm going to do that. But in terms of day-to-day play, absolutely not. Not doing that. It won't be on stream or anything like that. I'll finish that and then probably stop. I did say this morning, and I'm going to link to a more emotional take on this down below, which you can look into if you want to. If you want more context for this, it'll be on our highlights channel, which is, if the entire Blizzard culture, I never say never, so if the entire Blizzard culture comes across like they've done something positive and good, like they managed to fix this atrocious, awful internal situation they've got, and they managed to get their heads out of their asses in terms of what direction this game should go in, and more respect for the players, because it feels like there's no respect for the players. It almost feels like Blizzard resents the players in a lot of ways. If that changes, I'll come and have a look. I'll come and check it out. It's not going to be WoW coverage, but maybe. I'm never going to say never, but for the now, I can't see it. Certainly won't be covering things like upcoming 9.2 changes or anything like that. That's stuff that you're probably used to from my channel. So I apologize for anybody who's like saddened that that's gone, but I hope you understand why I've made this decision. And I've had a lot of contact with people who are like, you need to stay to support the innocent people.
Holy shit.
And I totally get that. There are thousands of innocent people who do not deserve to have people like me bashing on the game, and have worked really, really hard, and will be saddened that I'm bashing the game and be upset at what I'm saying. But ultimately, I have to measure it by my own moral compass, and I feel like I just can't justify World of Warcraft and support it anymore. From my point of view, I have been supporting a game that has been actively working against me and players like me for like 2.5 years at this point, really. That's what it feels like, just actively doing things to disrupt and frustrate players like myself. And I know other players.
This is exactly how I feel when I was playing World of Warcraft in the last couple of times that I gave it a shot. Like when I played BFA, I felt like this. I felt like this game is literally just pushing against me. Like I just want to give you guys an idea, the first thing for me in BFA was like, I just want to be able to, I didn't even care that much about rating. My thing was, I just want to grab my warrior and I want to go do Mythic Plus. I want to grab my protection warrior and I want to go do Mythic Plus. I don't even care that much about rating. When I went to BFA, that was the mentality that I was bringing into it. I was like, I don't care. I just want to go do this dungeon thing that I've always loved doing in World of Warcraft. Just get into a dungeon, figure out the mechanics, and have a good time and get some loot. And the first thing that I noticed is there's actually no loot in Mythic Plus. There's no loot. Sometimes it might drop. Most of the times it won't. So good fucking luck there. The other thing I noticed is like, my class is literally not viable to do high keys. On top of it, in order to even consider playing my class, I need a very specific Azerite piece. There's maybe like 2 or 3 of them that have this very specific talent, without which my class is useless. And then I decide, okay, I'll re-roll to a different class, and I start playing Monk. And then I'm wondering, what am I even doing? I don't even like playing Monk. Shit's broken. It's so powerful. Like my warrior can barely survive in this goddamn dungeon. My monk is literally dancing around and putting down a circle of bullshit that people can't even touch me. I don't even have to tank. I just run around and throw barrels. What am I doing? And then you realize all the loot comes at the end of the week in this stupid chest that pulls one random item out of like 500. It's like literally this game is pushing against me. It's like, no, don't play. I'm like, I want to play. I want to do this Mythic Plus thing. It's like, no, fuck you. And then I come back for Shadowlands. And again, my class that I want to play, the Protection Warrior, is literally not viable for high keys. The other class that I choose to play, which is the Paladin, is literally not viable unless I play one of two Covenants. And for the two things that I like doing, which are Mythic Plus and Raiding, two different Covenants. So if you want to do Raiding, you're supposed to be Rivendreth. If you want to do Mythic, you're supposed to be Bastion. And it's like, if you're not Bastion and Mythic, it's like 40% less damage. And then the game wants me to do 20 hours of useless, boring-ass chores in order to keep up with the power creep for my character. It's like, literally, the game is pushing me away. I don't want to go do world quests. I don't give a fuck. I would rather you give me a quest to do 50 Mythic Plus. That would literally be more interesting to me. Just let me do the things I like doing. It's so bad. But yeah, I completely understand where Mike is coming from. And it's like, I think it's unfair for people to tell him, oh, you have to keep doing what you're doing for the good people. Like, that's not fair. Like, what the fuck? How's he going to get like the creativity and inspiration to create good videos if he doesn't even enjoy the game? It's not how it works.
I felt the same way. Not everybody will, but that's where I'm at. Anyway, considering it's been so many years, I think we had a good time, didn't we? I think so. I think we had a really good time. I'm going to miss it because, for a long time, up until about 2 years ago, this job that I made into a job from just enjoying this game was so easy. So fun every single day. It's not been that way for a long time now. It's not been that way. But I think we had fun along the way. We had some memorable moments. Chris has whipped together, very short notice, a little montage of things, which is a bit emotional for me. I haven't even watched it all the way through. But on to bigger and better things, hopefully. Right? So if you're looking for any more information, preachgaming.com. We'll have stuff there. And obviously the live stream if you want to ask me questions or anything like that. But that is the situation, guys. If you're looking for day-to-day World of Warcraft content, it will no longer be here. Okay? I love you all, It's you guys gave me a great opportunity. I got to travel the world because of World of Warcraft and Blizzard. I was treated very well by them eventually. At some point. Recently, actually. I am at a loss as to how this happened. Man, you trying to fuck me on the stream? You trying to make me look like a fucking dickhead? Woo! Fucking awesome!
Hey, look!
Now we've got lag.
Look! It's Shards of Domination! Look right there! They even got the same colors!
I could fucking kill you, Chris! I swear to God! That's the bit. Once per week. So far away! It's on the other side of the room, bro! It does feel like in the Shadowlands Blizzard went out of the way to disrupt you guys. No, Chris! No! Give me the mouse!
Mana pearls from Nashtatar as an inspiration.
What the fuck? Oh, man. It is indeed the end of an era. And like I said, I feel really bad for Preach, but, you know, I'm hoping that he pulls through. At the end of the day, like I said, I would love to see the people that have their dreams over at Blizzard to actually see the whole thing turn around, but I don't really see it. And this is definitely like, I think Preach especially is someone who's been doing so much WoW content that for him to just be like, this is it. It's insane. It's friggin' insane. And it's just completely messed up. Yeah, I wish him the best as well, Shadowmancers. I hope he does great.